Stop. Watch Primer Fields 1 through 3 now if you haven't. Rewatch series to really grasp all the topics. If new to the series, watch from the beginning. This wisdom is for everyone. Pass on what you will learn. Part 20. The BS called gravity on the flat earth. Yes, this is a picture of actual BS. I would just like to apologize to my mom right now. I know you always taught me to not say anything if I had nothing nice to say. Sorry, but what is about to be said needs to be heard. Since we are covering BS in this video, I think I should start with some current events. SMH, shaking my head. If you think this is real, then have a Merry effing Christmas, because I do not want you to make it through the catastrophe. You most likely would be an evolutionist, and in this case, I agree. Survival of the fittest. And if you believe this BS, then you ain't fit and good riddance. So why the hell am I doing a video on the most ridiculous theoretical science BS of all time? Because I am compelled to. Ignorance runs rampant in our society, and I feel obligated to do my part to eviscerate any effing moron that believes in this BS. Yeah, I feel you, Mr. Chimp. I would be embarrassed too if they said they were descended from me also. I know, Al, it's a complete joke, but the vast majority of the population really believes in this crap. I'm trying to take this seriously, but it is so effing hard. Oh, hard as in stone? German etymology of Einstein, one stone. As in the stone like a stonemason or Freemason? Etymology of Albert, from the Germanic name Adalbert, which was composed of the elements adel, noble, or barat, bright or illuminated. The name was common among medieval German royalty. Yep. Does this face really look like it could figure out anything or tell any truth? Would you trust or believe him or this? Water. Always flat and has never lied to anyone. Ever. And here we go. So for the BS of gravity to work, they have to cheat to make their ridiculous equations work. How do they cheat? By improvising 96% of the values for their equation with completely fake numbers in the form of dark energy and dark matter. Yeah, I know. So here is an image of their dark energy. No, nothing wrong with the image. They call it dark because it is black and invisible and cannot be detected by any experiments. Yes, this rock solid scientific evidence makes up 73% of their value for the gravitational equations to work. This polar bear is rethinking who runs this world right about now. Most likely thinking about putting humans on his menu. So here is an image of their dark matter. No, nothing wrong with the image. They call it dark because it is black and invisible and cannot be detected by any experiments. Yes, this rock solid scientific evidence makes up 23% of their value for the gravitational equations to work. Damn, those lying bastards! Said they sent my great uncle Ham up into space in 1961. I'm so embarrassed for Ham right now. Remember what real science is, an experiment that is observable and repeatable. Only electromagnetism is observable and repeatable, and it is also scalable, which nothing else is. Gravity, strong and weak nuclear forces are not real science. They are theoretical BS. Sorry, people. You have been completely conned on everything. They have been milking you of your money, and they laughed all the way to the bank. So if you want to believe in something in which 96% of the numbers are make-believe, undetectable by any experiments, and fake, then I can't help you. And if you even mention it on my comment section or any other theoretical BS, I will banish you to St. Helena with no hope of return. Recap. If you still think I did not disprove anything, I don't give a shysta. I will not get distracted or diverted. I could give a rat's ass what you believe. Go F yourself for all I care. Because when the shysta hits the fan and the catastrophe happens, you will think of these 3 words. Brian, Austin, Lambert. Suck it, morons. Part 21, Genesis and Creation on the Flat Earth, God's Magnus Opus. I would just like to take the time to thank Brent for giving me the directions on how to read the Bible many years ago. He said that every word was true and he was 100% correct. Thank you, Brent, for the wisdom that humbled me and gave me eyes to see and ears to hear. People, the Bible is 100% true. Here, let me show you how creation happened through real science, electromagnetism, and optics. Genesis 1:1, King James Version. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Two, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Electromagnetic circuit shuts down in changeover. All electromagnetic confinement fields disappear without form and void. Heat is dispersed throughout entire system. All phases of water are in the liquid form, the deep. No more ice or gas, all liquid water. The deep or waters were already there. The darkness was the light from the previous sky that was darkened or stopped emitting light due to the shutdown or changeover in electrical current direction of flow. Three, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Electromagnetic circuit starts back up when change of direction starts. The first light is an illuminated plasma tube spiral generated from this. The as above, so below pyramids. 4. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. The illuminated plasma tube or light looks like this while looking at it from below. Divided the light and darkness as it is approaching and before it gets to the reforming ice dome lens. Five, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Leading edge of the white is the sunrise. The leading edge of the black is the sunset. The white part, light, day, and the black part, darkness, he called night. The evening or sunset and morning or sunrise, the first day. But the light is still in the plasma tube. The plasma tube light hasn't hit the lens yet. Since the electromagnetic field is up and running again, the magnetic dome is back up and ice dome forms. So lens is now taking convex shape again. Six, and God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." The convex lens converges the light and the focal point of light forms. The focal point of converging light creates heat in the midst or middle of the waters and starts to evaporate waters around focal point to form the atmosphere or firmament that divide the waters from the waters. The firmament, atmosphere, or sky is formed from evaporation of waters from heat generated at and from the focal point. 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. The firmament or sky is made. The waters were divided by the sky or firmament, waters under and above the sky. The electromagnetic fields are back up, so waters above are repulsed by diamagnetism, along with heat and pressure of air in atmospheric bubble. All these factors are in play in repulsion and position of waters. 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. This is worth repeating. And God called the firmament heaven. The sky or atmosphere is the firmament and heaven. So all that believe in the rapture, here is what it really is. When the electromagnetic field goes down during the changeover or catastrophe, the electromagnetic force that keeps your feet on the ground is gone for a day or so. Whoever is not secured to the ground will be lifted and taken up to heaven. So the pre-trib rapture camp was right. It's just that you will not want this to happen to you. There are only two outcomes if you get lifted in the rapture. You will fall back to earth when the electromagnetic fields start back up, or you will be sucked up into a spiraling vortex of junk and debris and will get squashed and liquefied when your dead body reaches the exit point of our plane. So either way, rapture is not good. And if you doubt me, then Merry effing Christmas to you. I don't care. Mediocrity is everywhere. I absolve you. Day 3. I will get into greater detail in later videos. There are a lot of hidden gems in here that need to be explained more in depth. 9. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. 11. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself, upon the earth." And it was so. 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. 13. and the evening and the morning were the third day. "14. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." The lights are created in the sky or firmament, the sun and the moon. The moon, I will get to how her light is created. The sun is in the sky due to the heat and light created by the focal point of light from the converging of the convex lens, ice dome, and waters above. The focal point and the absence of the focal point on the nighttime side divide the visible white light, day from the night, the yin-yang pattern of how the light hits the surface of the flat plane. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Signs, sun shortening of days and catastrophe. Seasons, moon for months, sun, solstices, and equinoxes. Days, spiraling of plasma tube light. Years, pulsing of plasma tube light. "15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so." Sun and moon are the lights in the firmament. The sun, focal point of light that creates the heat and atmosphere from evaporating the waters into gases or vapors. The sky or atmosphere is the firmament or heaven. 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. The greater light, the sun, to rule the day, and the lesser light, the moon, to rule the night. The sun and moon, the two great lights, are just light and are in the sky in between the waters above and below. The optics needed for both lights to form is done through the ice dome and waters above. The stars were the most irrelevant lights and just a side note to God. He made the stars also. No worries, I will get to them late in the series. 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And God set the sun, moon, and the stars in the firmament or heaven to give light upon the earth or the flat plane. People, all the lights in the sky you see are just that, light, created by optics through a lens, no more, no less. 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Yep, simplicity. Days 5, 6, and 7 I will get into greater detail in later videos. Do you see the triangle or pyramid-like structure in this drawing? Part 22, New Year's on the Flat Earth. Why am I doing a video about New Year's in this video series about the catastrophe? Because New Year's Eve is the end of the 7 days of creation. Christmas is the 25th of December and the start of the electromagnetic changeover catastrophe. The plasma appears on Christmas or day one of creation in Genesis. December 25th, day one of creation. December 26th, day two of creation. December 27th, day three of creation. December 28th, day four of creation. December 29th, day five of creation. December 30th, day six of creation. December 31st, day seven of creation. Plasma changeover event is over and God rested. And now you know why we start our new calendar year on January 1st, to remember and honor the 7 days of creation and the plasma catastrophe. The most logical time to start a new year would be on an equinox or solstice, but the controllers don't. They start it on what seemed to be a random date, 11 days after the winter solstice. So here is how the process plays out for the catastrophe to happen. The beginning warning signs that the catastrophe is imminent, the shortening of the days. Make sure to watch real time versus the controller's time. The harvest is always in autumn for those who have wisdom. Then the beginning of the electromagnetic changeover on the winter solstice, December 21st. Then the 3 days of watching the setting of the sun. If the sun sets heading back north on the 24th, then you will have another regular year. But if the sun keeps heading south and the light goes out on Christmas Eve, then the electromagnetic changeover has started, and December 25th or Christmas Day, the plasma will appear. Then the 7 days of creation or the 7 days of the plasma catastrophe will occur, December 25th through December 31st. Culminating or ending on New Year's Eve, and the new sky appearing and ushering in the golden age. So now you know the truth about the real reason for the calendar starting on January 1st. It's either the start of a new year or the beginning of a new golden age or a new world order. Keep calm and survive Hell Week. 7 days, people. That is the total length of time the plasma catastrophe occurs during the changeover of electromagnetic current flow of direction. 100% completely survivable if you are smart about your decisions. I will teach you everything you will need to know in the coming videos on how to plan and prepare for this worldwide event. Hell Week. Only the strong will survive. Hoorah, Master Chief. If you believe you are already saved through grace, whatever that means, and are too afraid to live and too afraid to die, then more power to you. But just remember, you have been warned, and my conscience is free and clear. Part 23, the electromagnetic plasma catastrophe and the two skies on the flat Earth. Plasma's magnus opus. Warning: if you cling to any religious belief system, do not go any further. Your worldview will be shattered from the real truth. You have been warned. What you just watched was the hell week of the 7 days of creation in Genesis, beginning with one sky, then the plasma catastrophe with the elaborate plasma formations, and ending with the new sky. Direction of flow downward causes one sky. Direction of flow changes, plasma arcs in majestic patterns. For 7 days, the plasma causes havoc on everything. Direction of flow is now upward and creates a different movement and pattern of plasma flow for a new sky. How is it possible to see two different skies? The blue sky which we are currently in and the red sky which we are heading into. Again, the answer is always simple: the right-hand rule of electricity. When the light is coming down towards us or the surface of the flat plane, the plasma and the focal point will travel from east to west. The light will illuminate from the top down, hence we will be only seeing the light. The best analogy is someone standing at the edge of a forest at night and is shining a flashlight at you standing in a grassy clearing. You, as the observer, will only see the point of light because there is nothing the light is illuminating. So you will only see the light and nothing else. That is what we are currently in, the blue sky. When the changeover of direction of flow occurs during the catastrophe, then the light is coming up from below us or the surface of the flat plane, and also around our dome. The plasma and the focal point will travel from west to east. The light will illuminate from the bottom up, then all the objects above will be illuminated by the light and will be seen by everyone because the objects will no longer be hidden by the direction of light. So back to the analogy. If you are still standing in the grassy clearing and now you have the flashlight and shining it on the person standing at the edge of a forest at night, you as the observer will now see everything the light is illuminating: the ground, grass, forest, person, etc. From your vantage point, your light illuminates everything in its path. All the solid objects become revealed and are no longer hidden. That was the previous sky to our current blue sky, and will be the new red sky after the change of directional flow during the catastrophe. So through art history, you can determine what sky they were in by what the artist depicted because it is exactly what they witnessed. People, it's time for you to learn how recent the last changeover event was. Please go to Philip Drushisen's channel and watch his series on the mud flood. Link will be in the description. So how did the ancients describe and record the electrical plasma events they witnessed during the catastrophes? The plasma was deified and called gods in all cultures. The ancients feared the plasma gods because of the devastation it brought. The plasma was described and depicted by the ancients as gods, people, heroes, saviors, hair, birds, wings, feathers, snakes, arms, hands, etc. A close-up picture of the plasma center. The Greeks, Medusa. Plasma. One dared not look at Medusa or they would be turned to stone. That is actually true, and I will get to that later in the series. The Mayans, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered or plumed serpent. Plasma. The Hindus, Kali. Kali, the multi-armed goddess, is a fearful fighting figure with a necklace of heads, skirt of arms, lolling tongue, and brandishing a knife dripping with blood. Plasma. The Hebrews, the burning bush Moses spoke with in the book of Exodus. Exodus 3:2 King James Version. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Plasma. Yeah, people. Exodus is the story of the plasma changeover catastrophe. And the Lord in that book was just a plasma in the sky, burned but was not consumed. Plasma. Now, are you starting to see? No belief is safe from the real truth. As the changeover occurs, the plasma takes multiple forms. But here is the one the ancients recorded as a two-pointed vajra, or the thunderbolt of the gods. Two-pointed vajra with four plasma arms. Plasma. Two-pointed vajra with eight plasma arms. Plasma. Zeus holding a thunderbolt or two-pointed vajra plasma structure. Plasma. Jesus and two-pointed vajra thunderbolt with wings or plasma rotating around central Z-pinch. Plasma. Do you see the two-pointed vajra in the right hand of the figure at the very top in the center of the clouds? Plasma. The ancients all over the flat plain warned future generations through art, myths, folklore, legends, traditions, stories, and writing. That is what the controllers know and the masses don't. Your true history. And if you think electrical plasma is just a harmless state of matter, then you are in for a rude awakening on Christmas of 2000 blank blank. Mr. Too Tough 2 video on electrical plasma arcing. Link will be in the description. Next video, part 24, electromagnetic plasma destruction on the flat earth. Please share, like, and subscribe. All videos are broken down by topics so you can reference back to them when needed. So many topics to cover, so we only have time to give you the answers and some examples. Homework will be required of you if you want to verify or dig deeper on an individual topic. Thank you.